Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on my channel, another book related video. And in today's video we are actually pulling prompts for my August TBR. I feel like this year has flown by so fast and I'm sure you guys are either thinking the same thing or have heard that many of times this year. We are picking prompts from my TBR for the month of August and I will be picking 5, and I also have a few extra ones that I want to add to the list, even though I've been reading about 4 to 5 books a month so far. But I'm very excited for August. I feel like June and July I really picked back up with reading, and I'm very excited to see what books I pick, and also which ones I actually read from the TBR list and which ones I end up loving. Hopefully I love them all of 2025. I think I've had like maybe 2 bad ones, maybe 3. The rest of them have all been 3.5 or higher stars, which is all really good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start picking some prompts. Give it a good little shake. We are down to a little bit of prompts, not too many, but they are kind of stacked together, or at least stuck together. So kind of, instead of just shaking, let's pull a few apart. All right, prompt number 1 for the month of August. Ooh, a book with a person on the cover. Let's see what I got. No, those don't. Oh, that's a no. This I need to tackle. All right, I have 3 options or possibilities. The first book is Clockwork Prince. I need to honestly get back into the series. I think I put this on my TBR not too many months ago, or I had it as like a contender like I'm doing right now, but it does have one person on the cover, and like I said, I just need to get back into this. I don't know why I'm kind of dreading this when I really enjoyed the first one. I'm just not really excited about this book, which I hate to say that. Option number 2, however, is The Lightkeeper's Daughter by Colleen Cobble. She's a Christian mystery author with a little bit of romance, and my mom actually found book 2 in the series in paperback, and she's giving me that one. So I feel like even if this book is a standalone like most of her other books in a series, I feel like if I really enjoy this, I can hop into the second one not too far along after this one. So this is really high up there, and also I've just been eyeing this book here recently because it's the only one I have from this author that I haven't read, just for now, until I get that other book at least. And then finally I have The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This is on my 25 books I want to read in 2025. It is fairly chunky and I'm not sure how much I'm wanting to read it, kind of like Clockwork Prince. It's one of those that I need to read it. I want to try and read it before the end of the year. Do I really want to put it on TBR right now? I can tell you out of these 3 books, I'm definitely most excited about the Colleen Cobble. I don't know if I should do it or if I should just go with one of the other books like Clockwork Prince, to be honest. Let me do a little classic, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe, catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe. My mother said to pick the very best and you are not it. Down to 2. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mother said to pick the very best and you are not it. I guess Colleen Cobble's The Lightkeeper's Daughter is actually the winner. If I did Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe correctly. I haven't done that in so long, but I feel like that was correct. I am so excited to read this book, I'm not gonna lie, and it's fairly short. It's just about 300 and so pages. The epilogue starts on page 301, so it's a fairly short book. I just love her writing. I love the usage of Christian scripture in here and just how it's a little bit of mystery, and this one sounds so intriguing because there is a lot more mystery I feel like in this one. I don't know, this seems like a really interesting book, and I love the cover of it. I like the little setting. Like I said, I already love this author, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy this book, and I'm very excited for this. All right, let's choose prompt number 2. This one has so many stuck together. Let's just try and pick this one. Ooh, this one's also another interesting one. It could have went with the last prompt, but it is A Day or Night Sky on the cover. Water, no. Those are all no. This is nighttime. You know, I have not honestly read this book yet. I just have 2 books that I really wanted for this prompt. The first option is The Last Thing He Told Me. Of course, it's a day cover. And then for night, I have Don't Let Her Stay. I think both of these are thrillers. I know this one definitely is, but I think this is a thriller. If not, this is a fiction book. I don't know anything about both of these, but judging by the covers, I'm just really intrigued into both of them, or I'm very intrigued about both of them. Out of the 2 of these, if I had to go with a day or night on the cover, I might pick Don't Let Her Stay. I just love this cover. I love how it looks, like the colors contrasting together, the yellow and then the blue of the night. I love the little bit of birds up here by the house flying in the sky, and just as a photography standpoint, I have loved this cover since I first picked it up, and I feel like it's sat on my shelf for long enough. Why don't we go ahead and try and read it? Prompt number 3. I don't know why all of these are so stuck together. Making it hard, I'm not gonna lie. All right, this one's a good one, but this one's a kind of scary one, and I don't know how up to date all of my Goodreads text technically is, because I used to have a physical TBR list on my Goodreads, but I don't so much anymore. I just haven't updated it. So this one might be a little bit bad, but I love this prompt. It is the lowest rated on my Goodreads, so on my physical TBR. I don't have a physical TBR list anymore. I'm gonna cut the camera. I'm gonna add a bunch of my books to a physical TBR list, and then I will actually go through Goodreads. So I'll see you back in like 10 minutes probably. I have officially created a TBR, physical TBR list. For the most part, this is mainly every book that I have next to read in the series, if it is a series or starts a series. I didn't add every single book, but just for like a real quick one. The lowest rating. Average rating, we'll do that. And then the lowest rating. I guess this month is going to be full of thrillers, because on this list we actually have The Paris Apartment is my lowest rated book on Goodreads. I have been needing to read this book. I just wasn't expecting to read it anytime soon, but I'm hoping that I actually enjoy this because the guest list was okay. It just wasn't my favorite, and I felt like it could have been done a little bit better. So I'm hoping that this, for being book 2 that I've read from the author, this is so much better and I enjoy this so much more, and maybe I want to get into more of her books. Let's give it a good little shake. Hopefully we get no more thrillers. I actually want something else for prompt number 4. I love this. I love this so much. All right, we have a random number generator from my physical TBR page in my book journal. Honestly, this is probably my #1 favorite thing. Now, I do have a fairly decent list. I have 113, besides the fact that I've crossed off almost 30 whole books plus 6 extra ones that I'm getting rid of and DNFing. So we have potentially 1 through 113 to choose from. Of course, you probably already know the rules. If it's something I've already read, we're gonna roll again, or I guess choose again. If it's something that is second in a series and I have yet to read the first one, I'm gonna pick the first in the series. I think that's really all I have to say. Start recording. So we have 1 to 113. All right, let's put this down. And now we are going to hit generate. 62. 62, that's 95. 62, no. All right, this isn't a bad option. It's just not necessarily one that I definitely wanted, but at least it's not a thriller. Number 62 on my list was actually Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. Since it is Nicholas Sparks, it is of course a romance, which it's not necessarily a bad book. And it is a book, one of I think 4 left that I have to read from him, because I have put off The Last Song I think on 3 different TBRs and I have not read it. So at least we're not doing The Last Song again, but now I'm doing Safe Haven. Maybe I'll actually read this book. I don't know what it is about The Last Song, but I need to continue reading his books and finish all of the books that I have left from this author, to be honest. Give it a good shake for 5th and final prompt. I hope this is really good. I feel like this month's TBR is just a little bit off. It's not necessarily my favorite. I'm not really excited about a lot of the books, but I feel like it's going to be more of a challenge in a good way. Never mind, I will take this prompt. It says a book of your choice. Don't have to tell me twice. I don't even have to think about it. We're going Mockingjay. This is the 3rd and final book in the original trilogy of the Hunger Games. I just read Catching Fire, I think at the beginning of this month, if not at the end of last month. I absolutely loved it. I have been wanting to hop into this book so bad. I loved the movies kind of growing up. I didn't watch them too much. Like, I cared more about Divergent than I did the Hunger Games, but I'm so glad that now I'm tackling this and I have watched the movies. I think they are just so good. I haven't seen both of the Mockingjays. I don't know if I've ever really seen the Mockingjays at all, but I definitely don't recall anything in the movies happening. So I'm going into this book very blind compared to Catching Fire. I had a few things that I remembered about, but most of it I was kind of fairly uncertain about. This, I'm like fully blind, which I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see the ending and then eventually picking up the 2 prequels and any other books that she comes out with for the series. Starting this month, I actually have also 2 different things that I wanted to include onto my TBR. So we have the 5 books that I picked out. I also wanted to go ahead and throw on a 6th book. I will be choosing 1 through 25 for my 25 books I want to read in 2025. So we're going to keep with that number generator, which apparently I never ended the screen recording. Okay. 1 through 25. With my 25 books I want to read in 2025, I technically have 13 books crossed off, 12 crossed off that I read, 1 that I DNF'd, and I will not be reading. So we don't have too much to choose from, just under half, or just about half, I guess technically, since it's an odd number. Let's go ahead and hit generate for the first book. 24, I already read that. That was The Black Stallion and Flame. I just read that. 18. 18 was The Midnight Library. Number 2. Okay, this is different. I don't know if I'm going to actually get to it, but this is very different. It'd be nice if I did. Number 2 is actually Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I feel like this would be a simple book, something that maybe I would really enjoy because it's more like the Hunger Games, something I would have loved as a middle schooler, maybe elementary schooler. But I feel like it might be one that also you can kind of read in your early adult life and it's still pretty pretty decent. I never read this at all. I don't even think I've ever watched the movies or TV show, whatever they were. I've never seen them. I never cared much about the books. And then I started thrifting these when we were stationed out in Las Vegas. I'm hoping I really enjoy this, and also I do hope I tackle it since it is from that list. I want to try and keep up with that list a little bit more and maybe try and finish it before the year ends. And finally, I have one thing left that it's not necessarily going to be like a TBR type thing, but I thought it would be a little bit cool to put this on my TBR as well. I have been trying to read the Bible for a while now, and honestly, I kind of slacked last year. I feel like that's when I really started it, but then we had a lot of things happening in our life, and I just not necessarily strayed away from God, but just stopped picking up the Bible as much. So I do want to get back into it. I last left off in Genesis, which I had been bouncing around. I finished Matthew. I finished, I think, 4 or 5 books of the Bible, but I was in Genesis, and I'm actually chapter 29 out of 50. I have about half the book of Genesis left, so I do want to see if I can finish it by the end of the month, by the end of August. That would be really amazing. So I'm going to add the book of Genesis also to my TBR. Here's all the books that I have on my August TBR. Like I said, I'm not necessarily excited about all these books, but I feel like this is more of a challenge for a TBR, and I am kind of excited to see if I can tackle a lot of these books, if not all of them. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my wrap up for July, what books I did accomplish and what books I absolutely loved or maybe even didn't like. I hope to see you on another video here on my channel, and as always, God bless.